All right, today we're going to start talking about the midsegment. We're still dealing with triangles. We're just getting a little bit more involved in the triangle and some of the different aspects. A definition that's important for you to know: a midsegment of a triangle is a segment that connects the midpoints of two sides of a triangle. Okay, so whenever I say midsegment, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so here's a theorem that's based on the midsegment. The segment containing the midpoints of two sides of a triangle is parallel to the third side and is half as long as that side. So it's very important that whenever you get something like this, that you understand it. And so the theorem here is basically saying that these two lines are parallel. What is this line? This line right here is the line that connects the middle points of each side of the triangle. Now, how do you know it's the middle points? You see how this one mark matches this one mark? That means that this line is the middle. This point is the middle. You see how the two marks here match the two marks over here? That means that this point right here, E, is in the middle, or the midpoint. And so the line that connects the two midpoints is parallel. That's what the two arrows mean, is parallel. And they have a relationship. That relationship is this short side is half of this longer side. Okay? The short leg is half of the longer one. And so this equation right here becomes very important. DE, or the top one, is half of AC, or the bottom one. All right? So that's the major thing to remember and understand. And let's actually work an example. All right. So it wants me to find the length of DF. Okay? According to the midsegment theorem, well, by the way, in this problem, we assume that this is a midsegment here, okay? We assume that this is a midsegment. And so the idea says, the theorem says, DF, you know I write my F's backwards, is equal to 1/2 of BC, all right? So the letters change, it doesn't matter. This short one is equal to half of the long one here, all right? So, substitute everything I know. Okay, what is it that I know? I know that BC is 90, right? So what's half of 90? That's 45. Okay, so DF equals 45. Okay, so that's an easy way to do it when it's just numbers, okay? When it's just a number, then all you got to do is either, if I give you this one, the shorter one, all you do is multiply it by 2 to get the longer one, right? Or if you're given the longer one, you divide it by 2 to get the shorter one. What I just said is for the people who actually listen. Some people just write stuff down and they don't pay attention and listen. So what I just said was very important. Multiply by 2 to get this one. Divide by 2 to get that one. All right, let's keep on going. But as we notice, all the problems won't always be numbers. It says use triangle GHJ where D and E and F are midpoints. Okay, so we know all these are midpoints. If DE equals 4x plus 5, okay, so DE is 4x plus 5 and GJ is 3x plus 25, what is DE? Okay, so we know this is 3x plus 25, all right? And we know this is 4x plus 5. So what do? Well, the rule says you take DE, and that equals 1/2 of GJ. I don't know why I put that in parentheses, but I did. There's no reason to. So substitute what you know. Hopefully y'all understand how to use this theorem based on these two examples. So what is DE? Well, DE is 4x plus 5. What is GJ? Well, GJ is 3x plus 25. Okay? So you see what I did there? I made up an equation based upon the theorem that I had at the very beginning. The theorem that I had at the very beginning stated that whenever you have a situation where you have a midsegment, that midsegment is equal to the base of the triangle half of the base of the triangle, excuse me. So that's where this equation comes from over here. All right, so now I'm going to work the problem. Now this could be a distributive property, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to multiply the whole equation by 2. Why? Because it kills this, and then you have 8x plus 10 equals 3x plus 25. I didn't want to divide a 3 and a 25 by 2 because I would have got fractions. So I just multiplied by 2 to get rid of it. That's a little secret. If you would have did distributive property with the 1/2, you still would have got the same thing. It's just a little bit easier to work this way in my opinion. Subtract 3x from both sides. Subtract 10 as well. Yeah, I did it all at the same time. So over here you get 5x equals 15. You divide both sides by 5 and x equals 3. Now that's not my answer because they want me to find what is DE. And they already told us DE represents 4x plus 5. So if I do 4x plus 5, I get 12 plus 5, which is 17. So segment DE equals 17. The midsegment of a triangle is really not that difficult. You just need to understand the only way you have one is if your segment in the middle here is actually the endpoints of the opposite sides there. The midpoints of the opposite sides there. All right. I hope you got it.